Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to our podcast, For Nerds' Sake. But you know what they didn't make for our sake? The new Saints Row game. Bro, have you seen anything or played even the new Saints Row game yet?
I'm too young to be playing any of those Saints Row games, man.
Go, bro, come on.
No, I've never played Saints Row. I know what Saints Row 3 is, and then they have like some crazy ass Saints Row games coming after. But no, I don't know so what happened in this brand new fucking game.
Well, let's see. I've been playing the Saints Row games for as long as I can remember, right? Like, I started with Saints Row 3, then I played 4, and I played the most awful one so far, Saints Row 5, Get Out of Hell. And then I just recently got the newest one, the new complete remake, and it's a complete remake. It has nothing to do with the past games, except for a few, like, hidden, like, details, which if you play the older games, you'd be like, oh, yeah, there's a character, his name's Eli, and he listens to a podcast, and then you find out if you listen to him talk, like, he talks about how the guy who's making the podcast in the game is from Stillwater, and Stillwater is the first city from Saints Row 1, for the first Saints Row and Saints Row 2. But, huh?
I said word.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a few callbacks, but the only good thing about the game that I liked is the customization. That's really the only good thing I could say about it.
So what was wrong with the game?
It was, it's a lot, if you look at other videos, people are saying a lot of the same thing. The gunplay is terrible. The driving, terrible. Like, you can be driving the smallest little beat up car, and you can full force it into a semi truck or a bus, and the bus will just fly, or the tractor trailer will just fly off, smashed to pieces, while your car is barely taking any damage. And everything's really floaty, so when you jump, it doesn't really have like the gravity of most games. It feels like your jumping takes too long. Everything just feels floaty, if that makes sense. And the story is mid.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of hate from the game. It's made by the same company, right?
Yes, made by the same company. The only thing, it was made by Violation, and then also in the first 4 games, THQ also funded it, but they went bankrupt in like 2013, so they're not part of it anymore.
Oh, I remember THQ. Didn't they make like some of the wrestling games?
Yeah, they made Saints Row versus SmackDown like 2006 through 2010. I want to say.
You said Saints Row versus SmackDown, or did you?
No, oh sorry, I meant SmackDown versus Raw.
I was about to say, wait, there's a whole Saints Row wrestling game.
No, I meant SmackDown versus Raw.
They might as well do that. Just make a Saints Row wrestling game. Speaking of wrestling games, Rumbleverse.
Bro, I've been actually having a lot of fun with that game.
It's still in beta, right?
I think it's in early access right now.
Early access, bro, because the whole idea of, first of all, I've always been a wrestling fan since I was a kid. Like, favorite wrestlers, yeah. John Cena.
Ooh, that's one of our good rivals. My favorite wrestler back in the day was Randy Orton.
Bro, MVP has always been one of my favorites. Bobby Lashley, I'm glad he came back. My new favorite, obviously, Sasha Banks. God damn. Why she so bad? I really like Sasha Banks. So, now that we got a game like Rumbleverse, where it's like a battle royale, just fighting in the streets, bro, I can't wait for that to officially come out.
I mean, you can play it now. It's on all platforms, but I think it's just like, it's still, it's technically early release, but it is released everywhere.
I'm trying to go into a ranked mode. Man, I was always getting beat by my cousin when it came to SmackDown versus Raw. Partially because, I still had to learn the game, and he was always like a sore loser. So even if I was going to win it in 1 second, he'll literally just shut the game off, or like he'll give me a trash controller. Like,
exactly what my brother used to do. And then as soon as I started winning, he would refuse to play the game with me anymore. Like, in my household, we had 2 games that my brother refused to play with me ever. He would always beat me in Call of Duty. I would beat his ass in Halo. So Halo became one of the games where I was not allowed to play with him because he would always break stuff. And the second game was Mortal Kombat, because we would look at I would let him like study the control menu for like 10 minutes so he can memorize his combos and all that. And then if it says down, left, B right through a combo, he would go down, but then he would like swing the joystick around to left instead of going down, bring it back up, then left. And then he'd freak out saying, why aren't my moves working? And while I'm just standing there just beating his ass with like Scorpion. And he broke so many controllers and shit.
Bro, it's like, Mortal Kombat is a completely different fighting game for me. I played Injustice, and I can't wait for Injustice. They need to drop Injustice 3, because I need some people to play against Injustice 3, because I wanted to be nice in Injustice, but none of my friends wanted to play. So when I played Injustice. I thought when I was gonna play Mortal Kombat, it was gonna be like the same thing because they had the same company make the game. And so when I played my friend for the first time in Mortal Kombat, he whooped my ass so bad, with the worst character too.
It's always how it
And
goes.
bro, I was just like, I thought this was gonna be the same thing, but obviously not. It's a little bit more intricate for Mortal Kombat. I should have known because they had like 3 different fighting styles for every
Oh yeah.
character.
Well, if you switch from Mortal Kombat to Injustice, it's easier to pick it up. But going from Injustice to Mortal Kombat, it switches where it's like you can't. There's a slight differences where you're like, oh, I thought I could do this or I thought I could do that, but you can't.
Yeah,
But
so I'm hoping Mortal Kombat, or not Mortal Kombat. I'm hoping that Injustice 3 becomes a thing. You know, we already got multiverses out, which I will be playing more of.
apparently,
I
Scorpion's
should.
supposed to be coming to multiverses.
I hope so.
That'd be cool.
I'm gonna start playing it when Static comes out. That way I can just come back, grind, stream it. Speaking of streaming, why don't you guys go follow us on Twitch at Bright Knight and MaulGC on Twitch.
Yes,
So where we
sir.
can start streaming more. I know we've been slacking a little bit, but
Especially me.
in due time we will be streaming more, and you guys can just see us in our natural habitats on stream. So there is that. Other than that, what other games did you play recently? Anything new? Anything good, mid, bad, whatever?
Well, like last weekend, I played the Saints Row game, and then after I beat that, I downloaded. It came out in 2019 or maybe 2020, the One Piece World Seeker game. I'm about an hour into that, and I'm not really enjoying it too much, honestly.
Doing that One Piece game.
Dude, I love
You
One
went
Piece.
One
I'm like
Piece.
probably one of the biggest One Piece fans you know. But this game, it's just so slow. Like, literally, this first hour I'm playing, it's all, oh, go across the map to this place just to talk to 2 lines of text from this person. And then they'll send you on a quest to go across the other side of the map to get 2 lines of text from this person. And guess what? Your next mission, go across the map to get 2 lines of text from this person. It's just, no, I want to fight. I'm playing as Luffy. I want to be able to stretch my rubber ass arms and go, pah! But no, it won't let me. It just wants to talk.
But I mean, we always play what's it called? Fortnite. One Piece might end up in Fortnite someday.
Dude, if they ever add One Piece to Fortnite, I'm rioting. I'm gonna be pissed. I got upset when they added Dragon Ball.
Anything to make Fortnite relevant. I'm not gonna say Fortnite's a bad game. I'd say it's probably pretty fun. I don't play it.
Back in the day, it was fun, but once they got all the hype behind it, their heads got at Epic Games HQ. Their heads got so inflated because how popular their game got, and now it's just a money hole. Like they'll do anything just to get a paycheck.
Bro, they got the whole Epic Game Store that was starting to do better than the Apple Store, or the Apple App Store. My bad. Apple's App Store. And they were doing better than them, honestly. And a lot of indie creators started going to Epic Games over Apple. Let's say that. But yeah, I did say they definitely got a big head. Like
The one reason I downloaded the Epic Game Launcher on my PC, besides just to play Fortnite at the time, was because they had a deal going on, which was I think it's like every 2 weeks they were releasing a new free game. So like I have all 3 Lego Batman, all 3 Batman Arkham Asylums on my account, and I got them for free for life. That was the only reason I got it. And when I stopped playing Fortnite, that was the only reason I kept it, because they were giving out free games.
That's lit though. That's lit.
Oh yeah.
What is next on our list?
But yeah. What else did I do? I watched the new Thor movie. Have you seen that yet?
I don't think I want to.
It's actually not that bad. I really enjoyed it.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I really enjoyed it. Well, the beginning, it's a little like, I don't want to say cringe, but like they're introduced. It's remember the character Korg, the little Thor's friend, the rock dude.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's him telling the legend of Thor, and he's talking to a group of kids at New Asgard, the little town they made. It's like, yeah, he got really sad and got really fat, but then he started working out to make himself better. So it goes through a whole like training montage of Thor working out for like a minute and a half, or probably like five minutes actually, to like a Guns N' Roses song, and like it's like really cringy. And then they go into a fight scene where Thor is fighting with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Thor showing off and all that, and you see all the Guardians just like cringing at it. I'm sitting there like, damn, this sucks. And then once he goes back and starts actually like, once he leaves the Guardians of the Galaxy, he actually gets into the movie part. It's actually not that bad.
I don't know if I said this before on a previous show or not, but I remember I was saying something on the long lines of how, from what I do know about the movie, kind of just destroys a whole bunch of the character Thor. For starters, Jane Foster is the same Jane Foster from his universe, not a paradox, not a time displaced, not a multiverse variant that just found a way to assemble Thor's hammer after it was
Yes,
destroyed.
the movie actually explains that.
Can you explain this to me?
Yeah, so do you know why she okay, well, you probably don't. So
Yeah,
in the comics and in the movie, she has stage 4 cancer, right?
I know that one.
Yeah. So while she's getting her chemo and all that, she starts hearing a voice calling to her, and she realizes it's Mjolnir. So she goes to New Asgard, where they have the chunk of ground that Mjolnir broke on, since nobody could pick up the pieces. They just took literally the chunk of ground and brought it to New Asgard and have it displayed there. And when she went there, the pieces started swirling and reassembled for her. And the reason that is because when Jane and Thor were actually dating, Thor was talking to his hammer, and without realizing it, he put a what's the word I'm looking for? Enchantment. Yeah, he put an enchantment on the hammer because he said, "Hey buddy, if I'm ever not around, always protect her." So, and then he walks away. Next thing you know, you see the Nordic and like enchantment thing up here on the hammer. So the reason she could pick up the hammer is because it is bound by Thor to always protect her.
Oh, okay, that makes kind of sense. But yeah,
I'm not doing it justice. You probably just have to watch it, but
I mean, so Thor unexpectedly threw an enchantment on the hammer.
Yeah, because he has no idea because the New Asgard gets attacked, and he comes down with Stormbreaker, and then next thing you know, he sees something go phew, 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 right by his head, and he goes, Mjolnir? What? Mjolnir's back? And then the Valkyrie comes down, and she goes, oh yeah, you're gonna like this new guy. And then he goes over to it, and he goes, take off your helmet and give me back my hammer. And she takes off her helmet, and he goes, oh, Jane. And then he almost faints.
Bro, I still want to know how he just unexpectedly threw an enchantment on to his own hammer. I personally feel like that's lazy.
His hammer and Stormbreaker have thoughts of their own, if you didn't know that.
Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of lazy writing if it's actually an enchantment or if it's just... I'm pretty sure Mjolnir is its own living entity of some sort.
Yeah, so is Stormbreaker, because there's actually parts in the movie where Stormbreaker has, like, fits... because Thor will be talking to Mjolnir, and then Stormbreaker will start acting up by not working properly because he's pissed. Stormbreaker's pissed off with Thor, is jealous that Thor is talking to Mjolnir. So he was probably just talking to Mjolnir, and then Mjolnir's like, okay, yeah, I'll always protect her, and enchanted itself.
Well, when you put it like that, it actually makes a little bit more sense. Obviously, I know how, like, not the rest of the movie, but I know how it ends, and that's where one of my biggest disappointments came from, was like, why did we not make Jane Foster the new Thor, like how she should have been?
Because she was dying of cancer.
So she still became Thor in the comics.
Yeah, but even in the comics, she was still struggling with her cancer.
That's fine. Let's keep her as Thor. That's kind of the point. We got to make the new Avengers. We don't need this old Thor anymore. I mean, Chris Hemsworth is extremely handsome. Not gonna lie. We don't need him anymore. At this point, I honestly thought it would be better for him to become King of Asgard, like how he should have been, over Valkyrie. Because at this point, who cares about Valkyrie? We only cared about her in Ragnarok, and now we have the opportunity to have King Thor, which would have been cool, or Odin's son, because he doesn't need to be called Thor anymore. He can just be called Odin's son, like how he was in the comics when he ran around with an axe, like Stormbreaker. So True. I would have thought Jane Foster would have been Thor, and she probably would have been a popular female character that nobody hates, Captain Marvel. So
yeah, but if they want to do more with Thor, they can honestly do what I've been saying they should be doing, is the Dark Avengers, and they can introduce the character Ragnarok. Just saying. But I can see your point.
I mean, yeah, they could still do that. I mean, it would still make sense if they just had Ragnarok, right? I mean, obviously Marvel's going to figure out how to do it, but if they had Ragnarok after Thor becomes king of a new Asgard, I was about to say of New Atlantis, New Asgard, and then we have the female Thor, Jane, as the protector of Midgard, which I thought was wasted potential in my personal opinion. I don't know. Maybe Marvel's low-key scared of getting rid of Thor because it's their only, original Avenger left that wasn't massacred, like the Hulk. So
that's true.
That's pretty much it. I don't know. But overall, you did say you like it.
Yeah, I'd definitely give it a watch.
What would you rate it?
Out of 10, I'd probably give it a 7.
7.
Low 7.
Low 7.
Low 7.
Okay. Slightly above average. So
it's passable. Cool. Passing grade.
Speaking of things that are passable, Pokemon have just released more Pokemon. Ironic. But Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has just released a few more Pokemon that will be introduced into the game. We have everyone's favorite Pokemon, Cloth, the land crab, of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, known as the Ambush Pokemon. Honestly, another crab Pokemon.
Probably gonna be trash like the rest.
Probably gonna be well.
Name one good crab Pokemon.
Yeah, you are right.
I know I'm right. That's why I said it.
Like they have Kingler. I'm not saying he's good. I'm just naming all the crab Pokemon off the top of my head. There's Kingler.
Crab Brawler.
Corfish is not a crab. He is a lobster. Craballer, Crabominable, the freaking Abomination. They also have. What else do they have? I'm trying to think. I think crab.
We should draw a blank on him.
I'm actually drawing a blank because Corfish is going to be on my list, but I just remembered he's a lobster.
Yeah, close enough.
Close enough. Okay.
I think there's a few others, but it doesn't really matter. They're trash if we can't remember them.
Yeah, but yeah, there's way too many lobster Pokemon. Do we have a dolphin Pokemon yet?
No, we do not. And there actually there's a reason behind that.
I'm actually kind of scared to ask.
So the reason there hasn't been a dolphin, it's only a theory, but it's what a lot of people believe, is because the reason there is no dolphin Pokemon is since Pokemon and Nintendo are Japanese-based companies, is that because their history with dolphins hasn't really been the greatest. They don't want to be hypocritical, apparently, to be adding dolphins to the game.
Wait. What's their history with dolphins?
They hunt dolphins. Or I'm not sure if they still do, but they used to hunt dolphins a lot. So apparently that's the reason behind not having a dolphin Pokemon.
Interesting theory. Okay.
They haven't put an official statement out, but like that's been the ongoing theory I've heard for like years.
I honestly, this is like my first time ever hearing that.
I got up that list of all the crab Pokemon if you want to hear it.
Yeah, please tell me because I can't be blanking, but I'm supposed to be
there's Krabby and Kingler, Crustle and Dwebble, Paris and Parasect, Corfish and Crawdont, Launcher, Kabuto, and Klotzer.
I forgot all about Dwebble.
So yeah, 11 of them.
And Dwebble's a rock type too, just like Cloth. So
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, we got another crab. I don't really know what to say. Like,
but there was the really big one in the trailer, so we might be getting alphas back. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've heard leaks for that. I'm just like low key. I'm not really impressed with these designs for Pokemon. It's been these new Gen 9 Pokemon have been a lot of misses, except for like the starters, of course.
And the two new night Pokemon that they were showing.
Man, look, man,
Mega Man and the Swords dude.
Man, I'm probably the odd one out right now. I do not like them as Pokemon. They look like Mega Man characters. Like everyone's been saying, I don't personally like them as Pokemon. It's too human. Like it's way too human. Like I understand we have Gallade and Gardevoir,
Mr. Mime,
but they're based off a princess and a knight. And there's also Bisharp, but Bisharp is probably the good Bisharp in like what's its name? I'm starting to blank. Bisharp and Marshadow.
Oh yeah.
They're like good at making humanoid Pokemon. Like Bisharp is based off the bishop. Well, we believe it's based on the bishop. I heard in Japan they don't refer to it as a bishop on the chessboard. I don't know. But anyway, it obviously looks like some sort of chess piece. It's made of steel. It's a dark type. It has great proportions to look not so humanoid, like it's a walking person, you can tell. But which I think that's where they went wrong. They made the proportions of the Pokemon way too childlike and human, and not enough like Pokemon. Like Bisharp has weirdly sized calves or thighs and like or quads, I mean, and then his calves are like very like thin, and then his forearms are like big, so it doesn't look human enough. On the other hand, what's his name? Cerulege and I'm putting these names together. It's Armarouge and Cerulege. I'm having a hard time pronouncing these damn names. They just look way too human for me. I personally, as like I said, other characters love it, but Pokemon, I don't. But Armarouge, I like its lore, so I'm gonna still catch them and probably use them for Scarlet. So
see, I'm just hoping I'm getting I'm getting Violet, and the Swords dude. I don't remember his name, but he's looking really cool. I'm just hoping he has a cool ass shiny. That's all I'm hoping for him. Like I want green flames for him for a shiny.
Bro, you gotta reference his sword hands in his name, his nickname. Like I was thinking, like like Edward Scissorhands. You gotta like reference his name.
Dude, I'll nickname him Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands. Edward Swordward Hands. He could be Swordward.
Swordward, and yours is Gunward from a Pokemon Gun.
Gunnerd. I was gonna just call him like MC or Mega Man or Shots Fired or something like that. that's what I was thinking. But other than that, not really impressed. Like the two designs are really nice, but I honestly want to see their more intricate designs for actual animals being made into Pokemon. And
Yeah, but like besides dolphins, like we were talking about before, there's really no other animals they haven't used yet already that wouldn't make it like, oh, here's another crab Pokemon, here's another mouse Pokemon. You know what I mean?
yeah, I just wish they could make a pit bull Pokemon. That's like my favorite dog. Like they have a bulldog, but Bramble sucks. And then next closest thing is Houndour, but that's a Doberman. For some reason, they call it a Hound. Even though it's a Doberman, but
I thought Boltund was a pit bull for the longest time.
Boltund? Nah, he's a terrier.
Yeah, I thought he was a pit bull, honestly.
And then we obviously have Herdier, which is another breed of a terrier. No, I think Bolthound's like a boxing terrier. Boxer, I don't know. I don't know all the dogs like that. Unless it's Pitbull, Golden Retriever, Beagle, Labrador. What the fuck is that damn dog? Shih Tzu, all that shit. Anyways.
We should get a wiener dog Pokemon.
Wiener dog Pokemon?
Yeah.
Speaking of, don't we have Fido? I was going to say, like, that could be another food Pokemon. We have Fido as well.
Yeah,
that's actually the only like Fido.
We don't know. It does have an evolution, and we don't know what it evolves into yet, so it could evolve into like a pit bull.
Hopefully it evolves to some fried dough or some funnel.
I think it is going to be fried dough because its leak is apparently it goes from yellow and whitish to like a darker, like a brown and like a darker brown. So it's probably going to turn into like a fried dough.
And have different flavors?
No, not different flavors. So like Fido is like a lightish yellow and like a tannish whitish color. Its evolution, its color scheme is supposed to be a brown and then a darker brown. Like it's been cooked, like it's been fried or whatever. So it might just be like a fried dough.
Would we have to actually fry it though?
Yeah, so maybe it's like an evolution says it can only evolve during daytime, whatever, because the sun cooks it.
Right. Like how Alchemy, you had to didn't you have to like dress it up with like pastries?
I have no idea. I never caught an Alcranian Sword and Shield. I
Yo,
couldn't be bothered.
When I called it out creamy, you already knew what I was gonna name it.
And that was?
I had to call it cream pie.
Jesus Christ. No, I never nicknamed a Pokemon because I never think of a good enough name for it. The last Pokemon I named was, I don't remember his name now because I always call him his nickname. What was the, Greedent. I named him Chonk. That was the last Pokemon I named, just named him Chonk was my Greedent.
Those early route Pokemon really be lit. Like, we had Diggersby though, and then we get a Chonk in Gen 8.
Not gonna lie, Sword and Shield had one of the best early route birds. Just because we can get a
Pikachu?
Yeah, Pikachu wasn't great, but his final evolution, the giant steel board, tell me that he wasn't cool.
Did you say Gen 8 or Gen 7?
Gen 8, I'm talking about Sword and Shield.
Okay, for some reason I was thinking Gen 7 because I was about to say Gumshoe or another early route Pokemon.
Yeah, Gumshoe sucks. No, I'm talking about Gen 8.
Like Trump the Pokemon?
Huh?
Didn't like Trump the Pokemon?
No, not at all.
It's based off of a detective, but it definitely looks like Trump. Like you can't tell me it doesn't look like Trump. Speaking of things looking good, not like Trump. Pokemon episode 124 of Master Journeys, Ash versus Cynthia Part 2 aired Friday, and I was really excited to see how the battle was gonna go. Honestly, I low-key did think it was gonna be a sweep with Cynthia, obviously because that's like my favorite champion, but of course Ash is the main character, so he still has to hang on for this next fight. So the fight is still not over, but it was really a good fight. They had a lot of good Pokemon shine. I'm not going to spoil this one like I did the last one, but they did have a lot of really good battles in this one, and it's up in the air. But I will spoil this. Some people were very upset that Cynthia did not go with Mega Garchomp for her battle gimmick. A lot of people were saying this is just another way for Ash to just get an easy win, which I thought was honestly stupid because Pokemon has this habit of not remembering how to play their own game or use their own world logic. So sometimes Pokemon that are weak to a type end up winning a fight, or they'll hit them with moves that aren't effective, or
some Pokemon just have moves they can't learn.
Yeah, they'll just have moves they can't learn, or have more than 4 moves, or whatever. But so people will automatically assume that Ash was gonna get an easy dub because she did not go Mega Garchomp, and people really just wanted to see Mega Lucario versus Mega Garchomp. I understand why, but
that would have been that would have been a sick battle.
My heart of hearts, Cynthia is not that greedy of a fighter to just let's just have a really good battle. Like, no, she's very strategic.
What mechanic did she end up going with?
She ended up pulling out her secret mechanic, Dynamax. So she decided to go Dynamax Togekiss over Mega Garchomp. So at this point in the battle, Ash's team consists of Sirfetch'd, Lucario, and Dracofish. And by the time Cynthia decided to go to Dynamax, it was honestly a way for Cynthia to easily sweep the rest of Ash's team, which makes more sense because Togekiss is a fairy and flying type. Like I said, Pokemon likes to pick and choose when they want to follow their own logic. So it just makes sense because Togekiss has the advantage over the rest of his Pokemon. So why not Dynamax it, get Max Airstream because he has a flying move, and get Max Starfall because he has a fairy move. And then I believe he also has Max Steel Spike because he knows a steel type move. And I don't remember its last move, but that's more than enough for Togekiss to actually win. Logically, Togekiss wins, but you know, it's the anime, so of course they're gonna have their own MacGuffin in terms of extending this battle or even giving Ash the W. Honestly, I thought it was a great battle. I cannot wait for episode 125, which should be the conclusion of this match, honestly.
Yeah, I think once the whole series is done of all the champions fighting, that's when I'll actually watch it. So I don't have to, because I hate waiting week by week. So I'll rather just wait for it to be done and then just binge the whole thing.
Honestly, I honestly forget about me waiting. I'll just know when it's Friday and like, oh yeah, the new episode's supposed to come out, and then people will post it, and I'll definitely go and watch. But once this series is over and I decide to go watch the entire one from beginning to end, I'll make a video about what they should have did better, because there's a lot of things that they're not doing that's making this possibly farewell series for Ash absolutely terrible. Absolutely. There's so many missed opportunities in my personal opinion. Next on our list for anime, My Hero Season 6. I've been talking about it time and time again. It is finally coming to America. I cannot wait. What are your thoughts on Season 6 of My Hero?
Honestly, I can't wait to watch it. I've been, as you know, I read the manga for it, so I'm a little bit ahead. But My Hero is one of those shows where even though I know what's going to happen, I still look forward to the anime just to see those fight scenes get animated. Let me tell you. Cannot wait. Because I can't tell you without spoiling it what's going to happen. But I know once you see it, you're going to be texting me immediately going like, bro, did you see that? I'm gonna be like, yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna be flipping out when this comes out. I'm hoping like the entire season drops. Doesn't when My Hero airs, they drop the entire season, don't they? It's been a minute, so it's like I don't honestly remember.
I think they do week by week, but they could drop the whole season. I'm not really sure.
Because I'm really blanking. I'm probably thinking of another anime that drops the entire season for that.
Yeah, I think My Hero does week by week.
Yeah, so we're gonna go week by week, but man, season 6, I believe. What arc is this? So I can get it right, because
because like I said, I'm ahead. What arc did the season 5 end off on?
Arc. We just finished the My Villain Academia arc, so this should be the war arc, right?
Yeah. So just so I know, season 5 ended with the season 5 was the arc with the Dr. Doofenshmirtz looking guy, right?
I'm blanking on his name, but yeah.
Yeah. So this one is now starting the war arc. Yeah, you're right. It's starting the war arc where it's All for One and all the villains versus All Might and all the heroes, and they're going at it.
Yeah, I can't wait. This is the anime endgame.
Yeah, the manga is going to be fit. I'm pretty sure we're in the last arc for the manga, and the fights are almost over with. So I think for the manga we probably have maybe 6 more months, if that, worth of more chapters. So yeah,
I can't wait for this. I'm just like, after this phase of Marvel not really living up to expectation, and the graces of this phase for Marvel or for superheroes really is The Boys, SpiderMan, Black Panther, and My Hero. And speaking of Spider-Man, man, they re-released Spider-Man back in the theaters just to give us 11 minutes of new content.
I didn't see the new release. I didn't bother going to see it, surprisingly. So what is the new content?
And $3 movies are amazing. But when I went to go watch it again, it felt fresh. I was excited. I was happy. I was sad, of course. And the 11 minutes of new content doesn't really change anything of the story. It just kind of adds stuff that was clearly taken out, but it still makes it funny. I would say one thing that I wasn't expecting at the start of the movie, they do have all 3 Spider-Men, thanking everybody for their support and love of the characters of Peter Parker and all the iterations of Spider-Man. And they finally got to tell Andrew Garfield that they love him too. If you guys don't remember, in the movie when they were all fighting the villains, it was all three Spider-Men, and Andrew grabbed them and said, "I love you guys," and they said thank you and started running. And so at the start of the movie, they made sure to tell Andrew Garfield that they love him too. So which I thought was hilarious. I believe that was an improvised scene where Andrew told him that he loved them.
Yeah, it was.
So that's probably what sparked their reaction. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, they added 11 minutes of new content, which was actually funny. References to the old Spider-Man movie in brief shots, explaining certain things like how paint got on Spider-Man's suit, showing how Peter Parker had to go through his school life after people found out he was Spider-Man, like he was in class and they wanted him to crawl up the wall, or there were interviews by Midtown High, a news group in Midtown High, and it was they were asking all his friends about him being Spider-Man or secret identities, when it's an appropriate time to text your ex-girlfriend, which was also thrown in there, which I thought was hilarious, which was a reference to Far From Home. It's just mainly just some funny stuff. That's pretty much it. Nothing really changed. There was no other scenes that really changed the aspect of the movie. Once you got past those 11 minutes, which I think was probably in the first, portion of the movie, around like the first third of it. Yeah, first third of the movie, I believe. And then the movie just was basically the same after that. I gotta say, it was not really like, in terms of what they could have done, not a lot.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, it was just not like
it's not like you're expecting the whole throwing another whole fight scene between all the villains and all that, but
yeah, like if for future references to companies and franchises that want to re-release their movies, I highly suggest that you decide to go a route where you had an alternate idea for the movie rather than just throwing some cut content that doesn't change the ending of the movie. It was funny and entertaining. I would have just been happy if you guys just re-released it without any of the new content. I just decided to be a sucker and go pay for it.
See, I mean, I would have liked it too if they just did an alternate ending thing, like this one isn't canon, but here's the alternate ending we didn't use.
Yeah, I would have liked that. I really would have. I think stuff like that would be really cool, and I think it could actually help sell DVDs if you market it as alternate ending coming into the theater, and then you'll say, oh, we have 3 more alternate endings in the DVDs that will eventually come out in the next year, because I don't know anybody who's going to buy DVDs. We have streaming now.
Yeah.
So there's that. But possibilities that could have been there could have been a version where they couldn't get Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, like how there were rumors that they weren't even sure if Sony was going to greenlit them reusing those characters for the movie. We could have got a different Far From Home, or a lot of the Far From Home ideas that people speculated, where it was just going to be Tom Holland's Peter Parker going through different multiverses, different universes, fighting the Sinister Six, basically an across the Spider-Verse version of the movie, which I would have thought was pretty cool. But other than that, that's pretty much all they had to offer, which is 11 minutes.
11 minutes of unused content that probably could have kept stayed as unused.
It definitely could have stayed as unused. I did find it hilarious, but it didn't change the movie very much. So
they never do change the movie at all.
And so it was just a good cash grab.
Yeah, that's all it is.
So, speaking of cash grabs, Puss in Boots is getting another movie. First of all, I didn't even know there were more than 2 Puss in Boots movies, but apparently
it's unneeded. We don't need another Puss in Boots movie.
It's part of the Shrek verse, man. We got to do it.
So just make Shrek 6.
And so we got Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which should be coming out in 2022, I guess, or maybe 2023. But
probably Thanksgiving, Christmas time.
So basically, this new Puss in Boots movie is gonna center around, obviously, Puss in Boots. But after his adventurous lifestyle cost him 8 of his lives, he's on a journey to find the mythical last wish to restore all of his 8 lives that he has lost. In the trailer that I saw, he's actually being hunted by, get this, Goldilocks and the 3 bears.
Really?
Yeah, I remember he was the trailer, they had him transferred to what's it called? A cat lady's house where she lives with her and her, I don't know, 20 different cats. And that's where he's supposed to be having his retirement at. And then Goldilocks breaks in with 3 bears and they're looking for Puss. And so...
so what did he do to screw him over?
Honestly, don't remember from the trailer, but I can't wait to see what they come up with. I was a little confused because somebody kind of pointed out that wasn't the mama bear turned into a rug in Shrek?
I think so.
Pretty, yeah, so So we don't know. It could just be an alternate version of Puss. Multiverse Shrek. Oh, that would probably be cool. Multiverse.
Yeah, I want to see a standalone Donkey movie.
Wait, Donkey doesn't have his own movie?
No,
Oh, what? Okay, that would actually be cool. Donkey and his children.
not even. It could just be Donkey.
Yeah. So, yeah. Honestly, I'm excited. Honestly, I'm taking like my nephews or something like that to go see this Puss in Boots movie.
Taking your nephews and your damn well, you're just gonna go see that by yourself.
Yeah, you know damn well I'm gonna watch it by myself and pretend I brought them. Damn well I can't wait to see some Puss in Boots. Speaking of movies I might go watching by myself, Dungeons and Dragons is coming out with their own movie. I believe this is another 2023 movie that's coming out. I was actually surprised seeing it because they did not reveal the name of the movie till the end, and when I heard Dungeons and Dragons, which I've never played before in my entire life, I was completely confused. So apparently for this new movie, it says an ex-harper turned thief escapes from prison with his partner, a female barbarian, and reunites with a no-talent wizard and a druid new to their team in the effort to rob the cheating Conan who stole all their loot from the heist that landed them behind bars and use it to install himself as the Lord of the Neverwinter.
See, just from that, I already know how the movie's gonna end. Just from them saying a no-talent wizard, I know the movie's gonna go through where they're having all these fights, and the wizard's constantly screwing up all his spells and all that, since he's a no-talent wizard. And the final cutscene, what's gonna be is the barbarian chick, the main guy, and the druid. They're all going to be on their final thing, and the wizard's finally gonna cast a spell correctly to get the final winning shot on the dude. That's exactly. I'll put money on. That's how it's gonna end, since they put him as a no talent wizard.
Yeah, you guys in the comments try to bet against Maul on how much he's right about this no talent wizard being the hero of the movie. Honestly, I heard about a Dungeons and Dragons movie that came out in like the early 2000s. Saw the reviews on it, absolutely garbage. You've played Dungeons and Dragons before, have you?
Like once. I want to get more into it, but like I haven't been able to get anybody really that wants to play. So I played with a group of people who never played either, and we just kind of threw it together. We did a really bad job at it, but
I mean, so like, you think there's any room for error for a Dungeons and Dragons movie?
I mean, probably. Look at what they did with the World of Warcraft movie. That game's been out for how long, and people don't seem to talk about the movie that much.
You like just brought that movie back into my mind. Like I forgot that movie existed.
Exactly.
Bro, so I mean, in my personal opinion, it's just a game, right? So you can obviously go with the obvious characters, and it's a game where you can make your own campaign, right?
Yeah, you make your own characters, your own campaign, your own world, anything. You make everything.
So with the amount of customization that there is, I don't think there should be any. I mean, obviously they're not going to do everything perfectly, but like
they can make whatever they want. It's Dungeons and Dragons. All it has to be is a good movie.
Yeah, it really just has to be a good movie. I don't think you can. I mean, if you fumble the bag on this one, you must just let me get your job as a writer, director, whatever, because there's no possible way you can mess up something that you can clearly create with your own ideas. I like the whole idea of, the heroes, or I guess the protagonists in the movie, are thieves. And so we have the obvious character motivation from one of the main characters being that he wants to become the Lord of the Neverwinter, which I don't know if he wants to become, Lord of the Summer or something, but that's what I hear when I hear Neverwinter.
I have no idea.
I don't know. So I'm actually excited to watch this. I didn't tell any of the nerds I go to work with about it because I kept forgetting about it. But maybe it could be pretty good. So speaking of like movies that should have very little room for error, what do you think about in a Magic the Gathering movie? I've never played it, but I heard you've played it before. What would you?
Yeah, I played it for a few years in high school. I'm not exactly sure what they could make a movie about it with, like. Other card games like Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a pre-existing anime. Pokemon, pre-existing anime. Magic has just been a card game from the start, at least to my knowledge. So, since there really is no storyline already, at least not to my knowledge, I'm not exactly sure what they could do for a Magic the Gathering movie.
It could also be like a funny show, honestly. I won't say funny as in like comedy, but it could go like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Route where they just an exaggerated game. Like the Fate of the World, the children's card game for the Fate of the World, or maybe Magic on Motorcycles.
Yeah, okay.
Magic on Motorcycles, that'd be amazing. But yo, speaking of games that could become movies, so you know how we had the Emoji Movie,
Yeah.
right? You know, obviously the Lego Movie. Lego movies really can't fail that much, but we had like the Emoji Movie and everything. Isn't there like a Candy Crush movie too? Can't really remember.
So there was a Candy Crush scene in the Emoji Movie. That's all I know about it.
Like, what if they made like a Monopoly movie? Like, think of all the games that could become movies.
Okay, and you choose Monopoly. This is gonna be 4 pieces going around the block, just buying properties and shit.
Like, imagine it. Take this for a concept. Got 4 people. You know, they walk into a game room at like an old shop, or they find a game of Monopoly, and they decide to open it up. When they open it up, say like the lights go out, or like an earthquake happens, and then they wake up and they escape the rubble, and they end up in the world of Monopoly. The only way to get out, or the only way to rebuild civilization, is to run a Monopoly. Look at that. Perfect concept right there. We're making a Monopoly game. Hey, if anybody wants to take that idea and do it, please credit Bright for that.
I mean, it's an alright idea. I don't think it'd be the most interesting movie, but
hey, but it would be hilarious. It'd just be one of those movies you're like, hey man, you want to go out and watch the Monopoly movie? Like, yeah, so it's one of those cash grab movies, you know.
Yeah. What did they do for an Uno movie?
They just parody Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, have you seen the Yu-Gi-Oh! Parody of Uno?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so they can literally go like that.
I want to see a Sorry movie.
Yo, I freaking hate Sorry. I like Sorry, but I hate Sorry at the same time. Sorry.
What other games could they even like? There's a really like board games are kind of hard to make it to a movie. The only board game I could really see them making it into a movie would be like Candyland.
Oh, that was the freaking game I couldn't think of. Candyland. Like, I think Candyland would work pretty fine. Or the Game of Life. Game of Life, Candyland.
Game of Life. That would just be like basically a documentary.
Wait, what about Cards Against Humanity?
Again, I'm not exactly sure what they could do for a movie.
It could be like, think of it like a
They could do like a what's the word? Not a thriller movie where they're like it's a group of people playing like Cards Against Humanity, right? So it can be like such and such, but such and such happens, and then next thing you know, like they have like the news on in the background, and then say like the Queen has, and so he plays 40 monster trucks going over doing backflips over the palace. Next thing you know, you see on the news, oh, Queen just put out a new video of them doing monster trucks over the palace, and they realize as they play cards, whatever they play happens in real life, but they have to finish the card game because it's life or death. Yeah, so they have to try to survive while trying not to fuck up civilization by playing their cards.
Like a Death Note version of Cards Against Humanity.
I guess so, yeah.
Thriller, horror, and then like somebody who has to like they have their own rule where you get the blank card and they have to write something more messed up than the next person or than the last card revealed.
But you have to realize the card czar has to choose between 4 cards who wins. So the card czar also has to choose which one of these is going to do the least damage to civilization.
That's crazy. So, Cards Against Humanity game, the movie would be awesome. But never know what they could do with these games. But if anything, I hope they do it for nerd's sake. And that is going to be the end of today's podcast. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share our podcast on all platforms. Rate it the highest rating possible. And as always, nerds out.
Peace.